There's a threshold you can't see, that is until you cross it. Think about this. A world you don't even know exists, and you never encounter that reality until you leave the comfort of the one that you've always known. I've learned this again and again, and I will learn it many times into the future. You think you know your limits, maybe because you feel like you're playing on the edges, touching the walls of your routine, and calling that the perimeter of your power. But that's not the truth. That's just what you've grown used to, and see, there's a monumental discrepancy between those two things. There is a version of you right now living in the shadows of what could be, a version you'll only meet when you go farther than you've ever gone. But the only way to find out how far you can go is to risk going too far. That's when the walls break. That's when the illusion of normal crumbles. Because as comfortable and familiar as normal was, it was never your ceiling. We'll call it more of a sandbox, a cage, a box you unknowingly chose to live in. And when you step out, when you face the resistance, the fatigue, the voice screaming, "Enough, I'm done," and still you don't stop. You see it for the first time. You feel it, not some facade, not some made-up story or narrative. No, you come face to face with that version of you that has always been there, just buried beneath the comfort, fear, and excuses, right beyond the normality that clouds our vision. This is the belly of the beast, and contrary to how I've thought in the past, contrary to maybe the easiest trap to fall into, that chaos is not there to break you. It's there to introduce you to the real you, the one who does not run from challenges, but instead walks towards them with open arms. Because in this place you learn the most important lesson of all. You have been playing small. You've been living at half speed, simply telling yourself that it was full throttle. And maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe you've wanted more all along. Well, surprise, this is your reminder that it's there. But unpacking it, unboxing it, has to be intentional. Now that you know, once you've seen it, it can never be unseen. This is just the beginning, knocking down wall after wall, breaking barrier after barrier. So go, don't go far, go too far. Go further than feels necessary or rational. Go further than your mind in its present state can even comprehend. Because that's the only way to find out how far you can truly go. So question, how many best-selling books were almost written? How many Oscar-winning movies were almost made? How many multi-million-dollar businesses were almost started? How many lifelong relationships almost initiated but weren't? A few years ago, I was going to run a half marathon with my sister. We were in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, visiting our parents. I had been training and working towards it, but the day of the race, I was super sick. Puffy nose, congested, coughing. I weighed the pros and cons, thinking I wouldn't do it. But as we got there, I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I laced up and went. Unremarkable until I started running and felt really good. I don't know why, but it carried on throughout the entire race, and I ended up getting a personal best. The reason that race stuck with me is how close I was to saying no, how close I was to missing what would have been the best run of my life at that time. How many times in life do we do the same thing? How many times do we turn our backs on what would have transformed our world? Or quit before we began, stopped early because of doubt, insecurity, impatience. There's an idea that so many people gave up not knowing how close they were to the exact result they were looking for. Every action brings you closer. Every day is another step. You have to remember that there are so many things in life you're capable of bringing to the world. Things you're stopping just short of. Every single dream, vision, or idea in your life starts with a simple understanding that it's obtainable, that you can make it real. That's the beginning of everything. Self. Belief is the gatekeeper between current and future. If you think of reality as city walls you're living in, it's not crazy to think that some people only know that existence. That's what they see. That's what most believe. It's only self, belief, confidence in something greater outside those walls. That opens the gate that expands your reality. If you don't believe anything good exists on the other side, why begin? If you don't think you're capable of getting there, why start? This formula is simple. We only move towards outcomes we believe to be possible. That's more important than ability, skill set, or strength. The person with inferior skill but unwavering belief will always beat the talented person who hesitates. If you don't believe in yourself, you're building a city on sand. Great things are rare, limited, which means not everyone can have them. Those who do have to fight, sacrifice, pay a steeper price. If you don't look in the mirror and know you're one of those select few, what happens when life kicks back at you? You'll fall, but when you know your movie ends at the top of the mountain, when you know you're going to cross the finish line, your brain internalizes conflict differently. For someone with self-belief, obstacles don't make you wonder if you should keep going. You already know you have to. You ask, how can I get through this? That small discrepancy changes everything. Most people stop at if. They'll never know what's beyond the walls because they never truly believe. I went through 16 years of education and no teacher ever told me 99% of life is just believing in yourself to figure challenges out as they come. Most of the world quits when things get challenging. If you don't, if you have the courage to believe and trust in yourself, you'll succeed, because you won't stop until you find a way. At one point, I didn't think I could make a living outside a cubicle. Then I saw others do it. For the first time, I believed it was possible. I changed my actions to support my beliefs, and here we are. With a change in belief comes a change in reality. You will always follow through on who you believe you are. So look at your reflection today and think everything you need you have. You are equipped to change your life, the lives of everyone around you, and the world. From now on, the question isn't if, it's how. Your fate isn't a coin flip. It's a puzzle, and those two eyes looking back at you are more than capable of figuring it out. Ask simply, do you want it? If yes, open that front door, take that first step, and inject yourself into a journey unlike anything you've ever experienced. One where you have the answers, the aptitude, and now the self-belief. When you find yourself in the lowest of lows, find solace in that fact. It will be enough to get you to dawn, be loved or be hated, but never simply tolerated. In life, you can live to chase opportunity or to avoid failure. Most avoid failure, criticism, disruption. They choose to exist, never condemned but never extraordinary. Just tolerated. The best things exist on the extremes, life's fringes. That's where you find accolades, accomplishments. That's where you need to be. You get there by taking your strength, your unique self, and pressing the pedal to the floor. Yes, it means you're exposed, vulnerable. Those who lack courage will find you threatening, but it also means the shackles are off. The door is open, the light is green. You can build the life you want. Some will love you for your accomplishments, some will hate you, but when you live to be invisible, accomplishment is a word that rarely presents itself. Life rewards the bold, those bold in their beliefs, actions, dreams, and pursuits. Years later, when you look in the mirror, you'll know you gave everything to a life that meant something to you. Loved, yes. Hated, sure. But merely tolerated, no. What's the difference between simple and easy? Simple is straightforward, uncomplicated. Easy means achieved without great effort. The difference is subtle but essential. One deals with complexity, the other with your will to achieve. Becoming who you most want to be is simple. But it's not easy. Just like walking is simple, but hiking a mountain isn't. The procedure didn't change, the context did. Most people can, but they won't. It's not that they don't get how, it's that they don't have a strong enough why. The path is laid out, you just have to walk it. Step 1, realize there's more out there. What was once spectacular is now mundane. What was once the ceiling is now the floor. So you ask, what's next? Simple, not easy. Step 2, acquire courage. Yesterday's courage got you here, but it's gone now. You can stay or step into the unknown. Life's greatest rewards have a price. Discomfort. Step 3, make mistakes. It's not the mistakes you fear, but what they might mean. When you realize the upside outweighs the downside, you liberate yourself. Mistakes are your curriculum. Simple, but not easy. Step 4, trust yourself. Easy when you're getting what you want. Hard when you're giving and not receiving. Growth is exponential. Every swing, every miss matters. Success is sheer will, not the home run, but the discipline to keep stepping up. Step 5, celebrate and adjust. Look back and see the space between where you are and where you started. Relish the wins, then normalize them. Your starting point has changed, and so have you. This is the process. Fall in love with it, respect it, understand it's not scary. It's dependent on your ability to push forward. Simple, yes. Easy, no. But you're not in it for easy. You're in it for the journey, the growth, the adventure. You're right where you need to be. Sure, you have doubts. Maybe you feel tired, alone, fearful, but don't turn back. Change comes in small doses. A slow, steady tide of progress. You may not see the whole picture, but the story is being told. What hurts isn't what you see, it's what's missing. The solutions you wanted, the changes you expected. But this questioning causes many to stop, unaware of how close they were. What you need isn't a miracle. It's to carry on. Keep laying those bricks. Not one is wasted. Sometimes you don't realize you're on the 80th floor until you look down. The world can't take what you refuse to give it. Self-belief is non-negotiable. Hold it tight. You can always take one step forward. That's the essence of life, growth, progress. You are right where you need to be because you are armed with the decisions that brought you here and the courage to carry you into tomorrow. Why chase the difficult things, not for trophies or flexes? It's because meaning is tied to conquering the unconquerable, seeing what we can become when we choose growth. But it's not one and done. Life filters out the timid. It asks, is that so? Then it removes comfort, places value on the other side of pain, burns the map, dims the lights. The difference between those who make change and those who dream of it is simple. How do you view obstacles? If they are a problem, you've lost, but if they're the expectation, the water that grows the seed, you're different. Life isn't smooth sailing with rough patches. It's a non-stop influx of trials. You can't expect calm and evolve. The expectation is turbulence. Calm is a rare gift. When waters are rough and many turn back, you push forward. This isn't the world saying no. It's the cost of admission. A chance to prove yet again that where you place your focus determines victory. The great tragedy isn't falling down, it's avoiding discomfort to preserve mediocrity. You chase this because you know it's there. If you move forward when fearful, push harder when it hurts, find something when there's nothing left, life becomes unending reward. For those few, it's simply knowing you can have the world if you give yourself permission to take it. Before you can ever get to where you're going, you have to decide to begin. You have to acknowledge that what you're chasing means more than what you're leaving behind. And then begins the greatest adventure, knowing that you've turned someday into right now. The road beneath you waves you on, the wind at your back pushes you forward. There are no guarantees. but that's what makes it incredible. You'll only go as far as you allow your imagination to take you, whether it's the end of your driveway or where the sun meets the ocean.